Check, sound check. Hey everyone, I'm Yogi Wade. Here is a challenging arm balancing sun sequence that we have been building up to for a little bit of time. We're going to work on connecting our Kundanyasana arm balances in the advanced modified sun salutations. We're going to do a sun salutation A, a sun salutation B, and a classical form of the sun salutation. Each modified to add some challenge poses and give us some of our arm balance practice that we all know and love. So let's begin at the top of our mat. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale to lift up, growing as tall as we are, bowing forwards. We're going to be adding just about every accessible arm balance as we can to this sun sequence. And so, after our Uttanasana, let's pick ourselves up. Find your crow, Lalasana, a crow two, maybe reverse Chakasana, the scorpion pose, if you followed our last practice. Not going too deep yet, finding our plank pose. Finding a strong plank with the fingers underneath the middle of the chest, the muscles on the back, pulling strong, pulling the feet towards the hands as we lower down, Chaturanga. Bringing our heart all the way down to hover an inch above the mat. And then we'll come all the way down to the mat. Bringing our hands behind us, Salbhasana A, opening heart as we look up, keeping all 10 toenails on the mat as we open the heart. And exhaling back down a little bit. This time we're going to lift our heels behind us as we open the heart. The locust pose. Bringing our hands beneath the shoulders. Salbhasana B. Our low cobra. Keeping it really low and very slowly with a lot of control. We're going to lift up into our high cobra. And push back into our downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. Weight comes into the hands. 5 breaths here. Taking this moment to find your power, finding your balance and your form and your weight behind the knuckles and fingertips. And then we'll step or hop or jump, finding crow two. I'm going to keep doing these scorpion poses. I've been building these up for a little while. We put ourselves down in the Ardha Uttanasana and Uttanasana, our forward folds. We can consider this sun A as our warm-up. Bring our hands to our heart. Are we ready for Surya Namaskar B? Opening the heart, standing tall, side body long. We expand the spine, lifting as tall as we are, squeezing the hands together as we bend the knees. Finding our chair pose. Keeping the core strong, keeping the back strong. Our Ardha Uttanasana, the half chair, keeping those hips low. Let's bring our hands down in front of our feet and pick ourselves up. Finding your way back to your plank pose, taking any challenge poses along the way that you like. I like to float as slowly as possible into the plank. And we're going to lower down to Chaturanga. Coming up into our cobra. And our up dog. Let's push up into our plank pose. Finding the plank, we're going to add a side plank, bringing the right hand up above us, Vashisthasana. You can grab your toes above you, opening the hip as you find the weight on the hand beneath you. We'll take a Chaturanga in between before we try the other side. Pushing yourself back up into our plank. We'll come out of the outside of that right foot, lifting the left hand and the left foot up in the air. And then hooking the toe, Vashisthasana. Lifting that hip as high as you can, stacking those hips. And release. Taking Chaturanga. side of the boss and the B. Meeting knee in downward facing dog. Paddling out the feet. Left foot comes flat, we'll lift the right foot up. Bring that right knee to the right elbow. And exhale it back behind us. We'll bring the right knee to the left elbow. And exhale it out behind us. Get ready for the arm balance. Right knee to the right elbow. Kundinayasana 2. And step it back out. That right knee to the left elbow. Kundinayasana 1. Lifting up. Kundinayasana sage pose. Let's see if we can jump it to the other side. And then jump it back up. And then we'll step this foot forwards. Finding our warrior 1. The back heel comes flat. Square those hips. Finding this moment here. You can squeeze those hands together with as much muscles as you have on your back. Pulling those feet inwards and together. If it's not challenging in the feet, you can widen your stance a little bit more until you feel that challenge from the toes all the way up through the tips of your fingers. Feeling the body engage. We'll bring our hands down to the inside of the foot. Lifting that knee off the mat. We'll lift our back foot up. We'll try jump switch in Kundinayasana 2 to Dvipadi Kundinayasana. Do that again on the other side. And then I'm gonna pick myself up into a crow 2 and put it back down into plank. Plank pose. All right, Chaturanga Dandasana, clear it out. Let's push ourselves back up. Let's try our side planks, Vashisthasana, on each side. Finding the breath, feeling where that breath energy is going into the muscles and into the body. Finding our plank and Vashisthasana on this side. Taking the moment to find the form, really strong in the foundation and strong in the core. Chaturanga Dandasana. And push back into our downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the feet. Taking a moment, feeling the muscles on the back. This time lifting the left foot out behind us. Left knee to the left elbow. Taking a moment in the three-legged plank. And we'll pick it up back out behind us. And left knee to the right elbow. And we pick that up behind us. And this time, Kundinayasana 2. Jumping right into it. And jump it back out behind us. And Kundinayasana 1. And we'll jump that back out behind us. And we'll start to try to connect them. Kundinayasana 2. And let's see if we can just jump that leg over to the other side. Almost. That's okay. Let's find our downward facing dog. Stepping that left foot forwards. Finding the warrior 1 on this side. Squaring those hips. Shoulders reach for the hips. And hands can reach for the floor beneath you. If that helps to broaden the shoulders. Let's bring our hands overhead. Squeezing them together. And we'll bow, bring the hand to the inside of the foot, hooking that knee up. Our three-legged plank, lifting it up, Kundinayasana 2, or the crow 2, Kundinayasana 1, crow, and let's, wherever you are, find yourself in a down dog, and do a proper jump up. Maybe taking the crow 2. Or finding our forward fold. Wherever you are, if you found your limit, that's okay. Let's not surpass it. Let's place the backs of the palms all the way down onto the mat
and bring the toes to those wrist bones and use the arm muscles to pull the palms out from the feet as the toes push in to open up the wrist, creating traction. Then a little release on the hands. Let's bend the knees, find our chair pose. Hands come overhead, shoulders on the back. Let's bring those hands to our hearts. Left elbow to the right. Our twisted shell, the left hand can come down to the mat. The right hand can reach up tall, long arm. Place that hand all the way down onto the mat. The other hand comes down, side crow. And we're taking a Dvipada Kundalini. If you can straighten those legs and making it a side crow. Maybe a little jump switch. Maybe we'll jump switch back. Setting ourselves down into our chair pose. Finding the form, bouncing the hips, hands to our heart. Right elbow comes to the left, and we open it up, opening the heart to the ceiling. Left hand comes down to the mat, right hand flat. We'll pick it up into our side crow, finding our form here, straightening those legs. Dvipada Kundalini. And then see if we can jump, switch it to the other side. Bring those legs out long. Maybe you can jump, switch it back. Setting yourself down into our chair pose and standing tall. Taking a moment, hands come to our heart. Let's take a windmill, shaking it out. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Letting the arms grow limp. Finding the twist in the spine. Letting the blood flow to the fingertips. Feeling all the joints lubricate in the arms and shoulders and back and fingers and wrists. And the knees and the hips. Let's come to a pause. We have a classical sun salutation as modified for our challenge today. So let's begin with the weight on the left foot. We'll raise the right knee into the chest. Hook the toe. Find our standing balance poses. Padangusthasana, Padangusthasana. Bringing that foot in to our standing balance. We're going to bring it out into a Virabhadrasana 3, the third warrior pose. Bringing that heel up as high as you can. Bring the back flat. Maybe tapping for your balance as you need to. And when you find it, you can reach the hands out into airplane. And with our airplane arms, let's revolve into a half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. And let's revolve the other way. The revolved half moon. These are the bonuses for this day's balance practice. Finding our airplane arms and stepping that back foot back. Back knee comes down to the mat. Bending into that front leg, heel just beneath the knee. Squaring those hips. Opening the heart. Let's bind the hands behind the back and reach for the floor beneath us. Breathing into those shoulders. The spine feels really good, releasing the shoulders. Let's bring the hands to the inside of the foot and bring that back knee back into our tabletop position. We're going to bring our fingers to the knees, pointing to the knees so we can stretch out those wrists. We're going to scoop all the muscles beneath the belly button and the core and try our peacock pose. This is our back bend. Finding that focal point and putting the weight behind the thumbs and the fingers. You can treat it like a locust pose. Just trying to lift your head and lift your heels. And bring it back. We're going to find our downward facing dog. Taking a moment to release the heart to the toes, pedaling out the feet. This left foot raises up behind us, and we'll step forward between the hands. Back knee comes down to the mat. Hips come square. Make sure you're wide enough to challenge your hips, opening them up a little bit. And then we add the bind, opposite finger on top, opening heart. Exhale. Reach for the mat beneath you. Coming back to center. Hands to the inside of that foot. Let's step this back, finding our tabletop. One more time, giving ourselves one more try at this peacock pose. It really helps to find this core muscle and find how that back bend should feel. And you scoop all the muscles in the arms, and you engage the cores into those triceps as you bend the arms and stay strong through the back. Wherever you are, that's okay. Let's take a child's pose. Bringing our fingers out as far, pushing them above us. Lengthening the spine. Let's pick it up into our downward facing dog. Pedaling out those feet. Weight comes into the fingers. Bend the knees, jump forwards. Finding a crow. Low lasana crow. Side crow. Crow. Side crow. Crow. Playing with your balance wherever you are in your practice. Taking any last arm balances before the chair pose. Setting yourself down into the forward fold. Bending the knees. We have this one final chair pose. Let's bind the hands behind the back in this chair. Bring those hands low, as low as you can, while you look up. So we release the shoulders. And we'll stand tall, fold forwards with the bind. Breathing deep into the back, into the shoulders. And we'll bring our hands to our hearts. Taking this moment to shake it out. Noticing the pulse, noticing the rhythm of the breathing, noticing the weight beneath your feet. How good it feels just to stand in a simple mountain pose, just to breathe, just to be alive, to be aware of everything that we are capable of and everything that we can challenge ourselves with through every practice. And from the top of our mat, we'll bring the left knee into our chest, finding our standing balance. Testing our weight on this other foot as we square the hips. We're going to bring the left fingers to the toes, bringing that foot out in front of us. Ekapadikussasana. Releasing the toe, bringing that foot up behind us as slowly as possible, stepping into our warrior three, Virabhadrasana three. When we do, we bring the hands to the heart, and then out to airplane arms when we have our stability. Finding our airplane arms. Let's revolve very slowly, finding the half moon. So we can finish our sequence symmetrically, pointing out, pushing through the back heel, lifting the hand above you as high as you can so you get your full wingspan. And then let's very slowly from the core, revolve. Finding Virabhadrasana 3, testing your balance. When you find that, revolve, revolved half moon.
Vrita Ardha Chandrasana, looking up at the hand above you. Let's bring our hands down to frame the foot. And this back foot steps forwards. Taking this moment to release. Looking up, and we'll bow. Let's bring our weight onto our hand. Step, float, or jump back. Finding the plank pose. We're going to take another sun salutation A. Just to clear it out. This is kind of our cool down. We don't need to push it too hard. We're more lengthening the spine. Lengthening that place on the side body and the outside backs of the shoulders as you pedal out the feet. Finding your downward facing dog. Jumping forwards. First Chakasana. Finding our forward fold. And we'll rise up to center. Taking this moment just to breathe. Feeling our energy building up with every beat of the heart, growing stronger, more capable, more balanced, more expansive and flexible and graceful with every motion that we make, creating that intention and that awareness, feeling completely present and aware to this practice. You cannot follow this practice without that complete awareness. Taking our final Sri Namaskar A. Relatively unguided. I'm going to add in some arm balances here. Taking whatever practice works for you and meeting me at the top of the mat. Finding our chair pose and standing tall, finding the strength that is within us and developing that, building that willpower, that ability that we have to move the body at the will of the mind. It's a beautiful practice to develop, and I'm so grateful to you for taking the time to share this practice with me. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Namaste.